Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today, and I hope you had a good Easter. So, I've been asked by a few people from different countries, is it safe for me to travel to Thailand? So, how does that apply to each person? Well, there's a political elements that are around. Back in the days when I was in the army in Germany, there was the IRA, the Bader-Meinhof, all these other active groups that didn't like you, and not you personally, but anyway, you learn how to live in that environment. And the basic thing was to change your route and keep your eye out and things like that, so you stay vigilant. And after many years of that, it kind of sticks with you. So I have that, and your intuition and other things like that, to kind of keep you, to know what's going on around you, we'll say, okay? So just a prerequisite here, this topic is kind of difficult to follow a track, so I'm going to try to keep it as short as I possibly can. So, is it safe to travel here? Personally speaking, I've been here almost 5 years now. When I lived in Ayutthaya, I was on the edge of the town, but I was around a lot more people. I'm not one for nightclubbing or hanging out in bars, but I have been for meals in places that serve alcohol. And I lived in England and never felt comfortable. There was always this element of guys. You know what guys are like? They're like always trying to weigh each other up. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to sit here and relax. I don't need you coming over here trying to weigh me up. So you get that, I guess because I was like, 6'4". At the time I weighed about 130 kilos. Like, what's that? I think the heaviest I weighed was like 270, something like that. I was, into bodybuilding. I'd been training for like 20 years or something. Never used steroids, so I was big. And because I was big, I used to wear baggy clothes to kind of hide it, but it was kind of difficult when you're that big. And there are people always trying to size you up, and I'm like, dude, give me a break, will ya? One of the things I did is I worked as a doorman for 4.5 years in a nightclub. Not because I want to hurt people, but I went there one night before it opened with some friends who actually did work there, and the head doorman seen the size of me and came up to me and said, hey, you want to work here? I'm like, doing what? And they said, work on the door. Well, my mind said doormen beat people up, and I said, I don't want to beat people up. And he goes, no man, we don't want people to beat anybody up, but if you work in here the size you are, nobody's going to want to fight. And I said, how much are you going to pay me? And he told me, and I said, I'm on. So I read a lot about body language years before that, and so working in the nightclub for 4.5 years, you get to weigh people up. You get to understand body language and the way people behave. So I have that too. And generally speaking, you can, if you're aware of what's going on around you, you can more or less know when something's going to kick off and just walk away. That's what I do. I don't want to be around that. So, but I can say in England, I never felt comfortable. There's always that element of people trying to weigh you up. There's the football hooligans back when I was a younger guy. Mods and rockers and motorcycle guys, that's showing my age, always wanting to fight each other. I'm not interested in all that. I'm like, dude, it's like caveman mentality. When do we pass that? When do we grow into our enlightened being, or just like be courteous to each other? So I left England and moved to America, and I've seen similar things, the racist stuff. To me, racist stuff is the stupidest thing in the world. When I was 5, I painted myself black to be with, so I could be the same as my black friend. At 5. Trouble is, it was enamel. My mom had to scrub it off. So I'm not racist. I don't care about what color your skin is. I'm happy to share a glass of tea and a laugh with anybody. So, but I didn't feel comfortable in America, so I left there too, and came here to Thailand, and been here almost 5 years. And I can say I feel most comfortable in all my life here. I don't feel that people trying to size you up or trying to cause a fight or nobody is interested. You get the like 99.99% of the people are friendly. You always get that one who won't smile, who just wants to be miserable. That's okay. Let him be miserable. I feel sorry for those people. But I never had anybody come to bother me, and I work on not being in the place for that to happen. So the difference is, if you go to a bar in England or a bar in Germany or a bar in America, it's basically, you'll see the same thing. But here, what you'll see is usually in a bar, I'm not talking about tourist spots, I'm talking about Thailand in general, they usually sell food. People will sit and have a beer. They'll usually order like 10 different plates of food, and they'll sit down and everybody will share and talk and drink, share and talk and drink. And I've heard many people say this, that older, people my age and older feel more comfortable here because Thai people aren't loud. They're not shouting and screaming, Younger people will enjoy themselves, selfies, talking to each other, just enjoying life. And the cool thing about Thailand is young people will respect the older people. So, I've seen this so many times, and it really moves me emotionally when I see this, because you can be standing somewhere just waiting for somebody or waiting for something, and a young person will walk by and they'll bow their head. They'll lower their head to walk past you out of a respect for your age. And I always try to say thank you. It's like I don't know how to explain it. It just really moves me that somebody wants to show you respect like that. And does everybody do it? 99.9% of the people will do that. Anybody like 40 or 50, sometimes 50 or younger, I guess they see the white hair, and I always, even guys will do it. But once you get past 50, they don't usually. But it's just a mark of respect. Can you imagine that happening in England or America or Europe? Maybe somebody has seen that, and I'd like to say, leave a comment if you've seen that. But in my travels, there are kind people, but I can say they're like truckloads compared to one or two in other countries. So to summarize quickly, if you're driving a car, you'll get road stops, which you can see here. And those road stops, basically, when they see you like see me driving, they just ask me where I'm going. Painai, I'll say Bon, or Pai Lotus, or shopping or something, and they'll say smile and say go on. They're looking for people, known drug dealers and things like that. So they're interested in messing with me. And the police are very friendly. And one other thing I would like to add at the end here is there is a list of helpful phone numbers, which I'll give you here at the end. So after I say goodbye, then you can see it there. I went to the local police station here in Bapahan. Okay guys, so I'm outside Bapahan police station. Where is Bapahan? It's about 30 minutes north of Ayutthaya. When you get, you'll see Bapahan, and then you split off on the 347 and come this way, come up towards Lubeli, and you'll see this police station. Okay guys, so I'm at the police station, and you can see there the police emblem and the Royal Thai Police emblem, a one-stop service. And if you look here, informer complaint, lost documents, comparative fine, withdrawal, bailout, trial, and what different. Doing these videos is hard work. The police station is over there, that white building. So I just had to drive over here and endure a coffee by none other than the lady who hates being on camera. No. I went to the police station there and asked to speak to somebody in English, and nobody could speak English. But if you go to a tourist area like Ayutthaya, they actually have tourist police that ride around on bicycles. So if you see them on bicycles, wave them down, and usually they can speak English, and they'll give you directions and things like that. Very friendly. There's some useful phone numbers. You know, and just don't go down the wrong street at 2 o'clock in the morning drunk and cause a fight. You know, it's really as simple as that. You know, being here is hot all the time, so if you're out in the heat and then you eat and drink, usually by like the time you eat, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, you're tired. Maybe you want a drink or a couple glasses of wine or some tea or whatever you drink. You go back to your room, have a shower, and crash on the bed just because of the heat. So, you know, I have to have my healthy thing, so, you know, drink a lot. Bring some Himalaya sea salt. It's pink sea salt, and you can put a couple pinches, you know, open a bottle of water and put a couple pinches in to keep the minerals, because once you start losing your minerals, you'll start to feel lightheaded and maybe diarrhea and things like that. You know, just because of the heat. But I never felt safer here in Thailand. I never felt safer anywhere else in the world as I do here. The police said I should do this, that, and the other. I've left tools outside. Nobody's ever stole anything. Never felt threatened. You see people might look at you a little bit rude. That's part of the 0.11%, but I wouldn't sweat it. Come here, enjoy yourself, and here's the trick. Smile and say Sawadee Kub, or if you're a lady, Sawadee Ka. And if you say it's like Sawadee Ka, you know, it's very, very gentle. And Sawadee Ka, very gentle. So it's a lot to do with the tone too. You just say Sawadee Kub, that's not going to work. But Sawadee Kub, you know, and smile. They know you're trying, and then the first thing they'll probably say is Putai, which, do you speak Thai? And you just say nope. But if you do, great. Okay, so I want to close. I'm trying to keep this short, and I hope I covered everything. If you have any more questions, please feel free to ask in the comments. So I'll close and say thank you so much for watching again. Best wishes, guys. Look after yourselves. See you later.